Happy New Year, dear chess lovers! Wish this new year brings for you the joy of victory. Just have a rocking year and have a lot of fun. As you may have already guessed, the new year I decided to start with a game played by the 8th world chess champion Mikhail Tal. In this game his opponent was Visvaldis Veders, and the game was played in 1951 in Riga. At the time of this game, Tal was 15 years old. Now let's see what happened on the board. Tal opened up with e4 and e6 by Veders. Black goes for French defense, d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6, bishop g5, bishop e7, e5, knight d7 and h4. Yes, guys, yes, Tal is choosing one of the sharpest lines. He's gambiting by offering a pawn. This is the Alekhine-Chatard attack. By sacrificing a pawn, white wants to open up the rook's path and then can rapidly develop his pieces and start an immediate attack. Just a perfect opening in Tal's style. But after h4, instead of accepting the gambited pawn or playing h6, which is also a popular line, black played a6 to counter control this b5 square and is preparing c5 in order to prevent any possible knight b5, knight d6 jumps. Here Tal captured on e7, although it would have been better to play queen g4. Usually white is capturing on e7 only after provoking black to play some weakening moves like h6, but in our game we have bishop takes e7 straight away, queen takes e7, f4, c5 by black. Black is starting to put pressure on d4 square, a standard idea in French defense. Knight e2, not the best square for the knight, of course. The knight on f3 could have felt more active, but in our game we have knight e2, knight c6, queen d2, b5. Black is launching an attack on the queen side, knight d1. Tal wants to play c3 and strengthen his center, but black captured on d4, not allowing white to bring into life that idea. Knight takes d4, knight takes d4, queen takes d4, bishop b7, knight e3, queen c5, c3, rook c8, bishop e2, and we have castling by both sides, rook e8. A very strange decision, of course. At some point, yes, black is freeing the f8 square for the knight, but later we will see that black won't go for that line. Instead, after h5, queen e7, rook f3, black played knight b8 in order to bring his knight on the c6 square. Of course, black lost a precious time and this can cost him a whole game. Rook g3 by Tal. Meanwhile, Tal proceeds with his dangerous attack. Knight c6, queen d2 and f5, a move which is of course weakening black's king side. We have e takes f6, queen takes f6, knight g4, queen e7, bishop d3. The bishop is also coming, and yes, guys, black's position looks very scary. Rook f8, first we saw rook e8 and then rook f8. Looks like that black is lack of strategical ideas. We have bishop c2, queen c5 check, king h2 and queen c4. A terrible move after which white is managing to gain a huge advantage. In here, knight d4 looks interesting, but white can simply capture on h7 and then on d4, and if queen c2 then queen e3, still white has a huge advantage. After king h2 the best move is actually this prophylactic king h8 in order to move away the king from this dangerous g file, but in our game we have queen c4, after which Tal went for f5. E takes f5 and bishop takes f5. Tal is using the fact that the bishop is untouchable because of this fork. After bishop takes f5 we have rook e8 and here comes the queen. Queen g5 is on the board. Already the threat is knight h6 check and then queen g7 checkmate. We have rook e7 and h6. Tal is intensifying the pressure. Now if g6 then bishop takes g6 can easily finish up black. If h takes g6 then queen takes g6 and then rook e1 looks very beautiful. Powerful deflective move. And if rook d7 then rook e8 just finishes up black. A similar idea we will see in our main game. That's why after h6 we have rook f7, but anyways, here comes that powerful deflective rook e1 move. Although I have to mention that h takes g7 could have allowed white to win faster, but this looks very beautiful. The idea of rook e1 is that now if rook takes e1, then knight f6 check is coming, and now if king h8, then simply h takes g7 check, and then queen g7 checkmate, and if king f8, then anyways, h takes g7 check. If king e7, then knight e4 double check. Yes, black king is in a mating net, it's over. Let's go back to our main game. After rook e1, we have queen c5, but now comes this bishop e6. Rook takes e6, rook takes e6, queen f8. The queen is also coming to overprotect the g7 square, but in this position Tal made a move and black resigned. Can you find his next move? Ready? Well, a few moves ago several times Tal missed a quicker mate, which could start with h takes g7. In here, this move is also winning faster, but Tal played rook e8 and black resigned. Yes, guys, it turned out that there is no way to stop this mad rook. By the way, let's have a look first at h takes g7. Here, if rook takes g7, then knight h6 check is coming, and then queen takes g7, and again black king is getting checkmated, but in our game, as I've already mentioned, we have rook e8. Now if queen takes e8, then knight f6 check is winning. If king h8, then h takes g7 check, and then queen takes g7 checkmate. And if we move like king f8, then anyways, there is no escape from white pieces. Knight e8 is coming, and then white is promoting the pawn to a queen. This is a total destruction, guys. That's why after rook e8, we have a resignation. A very beautiful and aggressive game by 15-year-old Mikhail Tal, and I hope that you enjoyed it greatly. Thanks for watching. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. Also, press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in my next video. Good luck.